Hello, my little minions. Today I am doing a short and sweet beginner friendly tutorial on a little sprout. And so this is what he is, a little sprout. I love how versatile this is. You can add it to so many different things. So you can add it to a little plushie. This is by Lala Cloud. It's a slug loaf, and this can go really in any plushie that you want. If you feel like it's a little plain and you want to throw it in there, you can see I haven't sewn mine all the way there in the back because I haven't decided if this is the plushie that I want my sprout in. But I love that it's just so simple and it adds a lot more character to your little plushies. It's a little floppy right now. But I use this as a bookmark as well, and so this sprout in general is a lot longer than the other one, but I love it because you can add a lot of things to it. So you can make this chain longer, and you could add a flower at the end. You could even make it a car hanger if you wanted as well, to add a little flower or a pumpkin or something there. I've seen people do that, and so I'm excited to share this with you. Again, very beginner friendly, very good for last minute gifts, and I hope that you love it. To get started on our little sprouts, you are going to need yarn, probably gonna choose green or some shade of green. You need scissors, you need a needle, and you need a crochet hook. I am using a size 4. I cannot remember the details of this yarn. I know it's loops and threads, but I'll have to put that down once I can find my label. So with this pattern, you get to determine how many stitches you want, at least for the base. I wouldn't recommend messing with the sprouts when we get there. So the base really depends on what you're trying to make. So if you're trying to make a bookmark or even a car hanger, then you're gonna want a bigger chain. And then if you're just trying to make a little sprout to go on top of a plushie, then you're gonna want something a little smaller. So it's really up to you how many you want. For me today, I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle, and I'm gonna chain 10. So we are gonna make a slip knot, and we are just gonna make a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my chain of 10. And now we are going to move on to the sprouts. So it's actually going to look like we're still chaining, but then we're going to go backward to create that leaf shape. So I am going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and now I'm going to go backwards to create that leaf shape. So in the second chain from the hook, so right here, I'm going to slip stitch in. So that's when you just put your hook straight in. You bring that yarn through all of your loops. And that's what's going to give us the little triangle point. Next, we are going, so if we have 6 and we're in second from the loop, that means we have 5 total chains to fill in some way. So I'm going to half double crochet down. We've already done 1, so we're going to do 4 half double crochets. So that's when you yarn over, insert into the next chain, pull it through, yarn over, and then all the way through those chains. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Yarn over, into the stitch, pull it through, yarn over, and pull through all of those. Okay, 1 more. Yarn over, into the stitch, pull it through, yarn over, and then all the way through that stitch. And so that's what has given us our first sprout leaf. Okay, and if you feel like your point is not pointy enough, you may just need to redo it. I found myself doing that a few times just my slip stitch wasn't as tight. I think my tension was a little low. So I am actually going to secure this in a little more after my leaf. I'm going to go to the next chain down, and I'm going to slip stitch into that chain. So that's when you again go through, you pull that yarn all the way through both loops. Okay, so let's make the other spout. We're going to chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to do the same thing that we did before. So I'm going to go to the second chain from the hook. I'm going to slip stitch in, which is just putting in the hook and pulling the yarn all the way through. Remember, your tension may make it a little more rounded than you want, so feel free to redo it. And now we're going to half double crochet back down to meet the end of the other sprout. So yarn over into the chain, pull the yarn through, yarn over, and pull it all the way through every single one of those loops. Yarn over into the chain, pull it through, yarn over, and pull all the way through. All right, we have one more. Yarn over, chain, and then pull all the way through. All right, so if we stopped here, it would look a little funny because this guy is just over, so we needed that with a slip stitch. So we're gonna go down into this slip stitch again. Not this slip stitch, but back into that next chain. Pull it all the way through, and then this is where we fasten off. Okay, so you'll notice it still looks a little unfinished compared to my others. And then if I wanted, I might redo that. So if I were actually making this for a final product, I would probably redo that first slip stitch. I just don't like how it's not sticking up, it's not as pointed. But for our purposes today, we'll be okay. So again, to get those slip stitches, your tension needs to be a little tighter. That might just take some practice. Okay, so I like to use this extra tail to finish it a little better, to give it a little more of a polished look. And so I really don't have a rhyme or reason. I normally just start pulling through. So the first thing I want to do is sort of attach that in. So I'm going to go through this little chain and pull my yarn all the way through. And next I want to cover up this hole. So I'm going to go into the back. I'm going to go into that chain to just sort of pull it a little tighter. And so now I'm in that chain. Let's pull across. You see it's starting to get a little more polished, a little more tighter, a little more tight. And you can keep going or you can stop here. The benefit of this is that it's also weaving your ends. So I'm going to go down here and weave a little bit into the chain, and that also gives me some extra security back into the chain. Don't judge me, guys, I'm going back up. I see some more holes. Yeah, I really want to close more of these little holes, so. Okay. Whoop, one more. So again, there's not really a rhyme or reason. I just keep going over until I'm satisfied with the look of my little sprout, which I do kind of like it. I like, he's a little unique. He has a little curved edge on the top. So I have weaved it more than enough. I'm just gonna cut that here. The bottom is a little different because it depends on what you're using this for. So if you were using this for a plushie, let's use Naughty Pug Crochet's Ghosty little boo thing, which is in pattern testing right now. I actually made the pattern of this sprout for Naughty Pug Crochet for one of her market items. So I want him on the top, so I'm just gonna slide it in off to the side. Actually, yeah. Let's pull him through. I'm so used to having things that have more of a base than this middle, so I'm gonna pull him through the middle because he only has one base. I did make him a little long, so technically this isn't really for a plushie. I guess we'll just give him some side hair, but this is what you do, and you would use this tail to sew it in. Whatever works best for you. So I don't know what I've created. So if you wanted to make this like a bookmark or something that's gonna show the tail a little more and doesn't need to be sewn in. Oh, this yarn is not working for me right now. It knows that I'm trying to show you guys things. Okay, so then you could just weave it in the bottom portion, or weave in from the bottom. And if you're like, ugh, I don't like that that looks different than the other chains, then just keep weaving up. You do you, boo-boo. And then we have our little sprout. So you can use this for so many different things. I use them sometimes for obviously for my lemons and, you know, fruit, since that's just kind of my vibe, but you can use this for a lot of different projects. Like I said, this could be just a really easy and fast bookmark for someone, a quick gift. You could also attach a flower or a pumpkin or something at the end here, and you can make it one of those car hangers. So let me know what you end up doing with this. Please tag me at Little Lemon Stitches so that I can see the work that you've done and share it.